Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Ski Sunday live stream. There's a bit of a chill in the air. The countdown to the winter, it is on. Ski season is just around the corner, and today we are turning our attention to Europe, where many of you subscribers, many of you followers like to ski. And for me to be able to do this, I mean, I'm based in Canada, so I need a bird's eye view to be able to preview the ski season in Europe. I need boots on the ground. And what better way to help me preview the season than bring in Snow Camp Europe's very own Andy Rose, based in Kaprun, Austria.
Yes!
He's here. He's here.
Hello, mate. How are we doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. That was some pretty succinct intro, mate. I tell you.
I did. I was thinking about it all this week. I was like, I think I need to have a bit of a script to bring in someone as big as you.
It's big. I tell you, I put on a few kgs this summer.
Have you been? You've been up in the hut, haven't you?
Yeah. Up in Bad Fush, above Fush, just at the start of the Grove Scott Road. Yeah, we were up there all summer. I say all summer, 12 weeks this year. We actually didn't open in September. And yeah, we did 7 days a week for 12 weeks, and it was exhausting, but it was rewarding. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, must be a nice way to sort of switch away from the hecticness of the winter and, still be up in the mountains.
Kind of, albeit I'm stuck in the kitchen. So other than when it's very quiet and I get to go and sit outside, I don't really get to see much of the mountains. Get to see a few trees out of the kitchen window. But no, it's nice. Bad Fush. I think we've probably talked about this before. I didn't even know it existed until I went up there during the very first COVID summer when we took on the project. And it's a magical place. It's unbelievable. It's a 400 or so year old village, or was. It's no longer a village, which existed before the road started to be built, when all the focus went down to Fush. Into the valley, and it's amazing. The place is absolutely amazing. The scenery, the hiking trails, the nature, it's just bonkers. And to think that we took it on literally as a get out of jail card during COVID, we are now the highest ranked restaurant on TripAdvisor in the whole of the Pinzgau area of Austria. So in 4 years we've toppled the Michelin star restaurants of Zellamzee, and taken the accolade of being top of the pile, which is great, but it also brings its challenges, because now we have people driving over the Grove Scott from Italy, and they come up to us saying, "We don't believe you can be so good. We're here to see."
I'm curious how an opportunity like that comes around, because my perception is that from someone who isn't Austrian, it's quite hard to be able to take on a bar or a restaurant in Austria.
Yeah, well, when we say restaurant, that's kind of very flattering for what we've got, albeit we've turned it into a restaurant. What you've got to think of is wooden shed in the middle of a forest clearing. Okay, with outdoor seating, and that's it. It's very, very basic, but what we've turned it into is something beyond what you would normally think about finding in the middle of a forest. But how it happened was, during COVID, I cancelled everything, gym memberships, any outgoing payments that I had that I could get rid of. And I was about to cancel my car insurance and take the car off the road. And somebody mentioned this to another friend, who saw a post on a Facebook page from the tourism office in Brook and Fush, saying they needed somebody to run this kiosk. And I was kind of like, well, it's worth a look. But I went up there and looked at it. Then took Johnny Tash, who I think took Johnny up. And we looked at it and we were like, okay, business plan. How many toasted sandwiches do we need to sell a week to pay the equivalent to the dole? And we worked it out on toasted sandwiches and said, let's do it. Let's just do it. And at that time, it was going to be, I think we started at the 1st of July. They wanted us open 1st of July when we came out of like a lockdown. So we opened it with a toast machine and a pan of hot water, and 4 years on, with the highest ranked restaurant on TripAdvisor.
That's incredible. I'd love to come over there and try it sometime.
Should do on one of your next trips back, if you ever come back.
If I ever come back, yeah. But so you guys are closed now, and you're looking firmly towards the ski season.
Yeah. We closed on the 31st of August. We wrapped the place up in tarpaulin. We put scaffolding under the roof so the snow doesn't basically collapse the roof through the winter, because it gets a lot of snow up there. And it is now luckily 8 weeks off in between seasons, but we are full gas getting ready for winter. Been doing all the snow camp stuff through the summer, bringing in the bookings, doing the social media, doing the YouTube. There was the goggle project, and we are ready. We are ready. We just need snow.
Brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about some of those. I can see we've already got several people watching on the live stream. Hey guys, be sure to get your comments into the live chat at any point there. Of course, all comments, we'll give them a shout out there, and put any questions to Andy or myself. So Andy, how excited are you for the ski season?
I'd be more excited if there was snow.
I thought I saw a post this morning from you saying Kaprun had finally got some snow, or the glacier had.
Yeah, we have. And if we could look out the window now, well, we can't, because one, the blinds are shut until it's dark. You can actually see a dusting of snow down to, I would like to say, about 2,400 meters. Yep. It did snow a little bit last night, and we were waiting for it all day. It was supposed to rain in the village today, and therefore snow. And at 4 o'clock, it absolutely hosed it down, but only for about 30 or 40 minutes. But that has dumped some more up there. So there is a dusting up there, but there is nowhere near what we need. However, going on past experience and all of the data I've collected over the years from the snow report that we do on a Wednesday on YouTube, is I'm still quite confident that by the 4th of November, which is kind of D-Day, that we will have enough snow to open and start with the courses that are going to start at that time. This time 8 years ago, it was very, very short of snow, and I was actually on the Multala Glacier training some ski teachers, and literally again on this day 8 years ago is when we got that snow that enabled us to come back and open. And we haven't had as much today or last night as we did 8 years ago, but it's only it's the 15th of October. No one should really be looking at anywhere to be open. It's a bonus if it is. And we've had years where we've been open on the 2nd of October. We've had years where we've opened on the 1st of November. It's a bonus if we're open in October. It really is. So I'm not too concerned. I am getting excited for the winter. Our first camp is the 2nd of December, I want to say, which I understand people are holding off booking because last year the snow at the start of the season wasn't great. But I think we'll be in for a relatively good one this year. It will come. It always does. And when it starts late, it normally finishes late. So we get it at the other end.
Yeah, it's early days still. English Bob says, hi, Andy. Snow is on its way, guys.
Hello, English Bob.
Hello, English Bob. We've got Richard Sykes, who's saying hi from Toronto.
Yes, Richard in Canada.
Oh, lovely. Nice to
have you, mate. Richard's coming over, I want to say 10th of November for 3 weeks.
Oh, nice.
And then apparently he's twisting his wife's arm and he's coming over again in April.
Really? He didn't fancy coming over to Revelstoke?
I'm sure if you invited him over, he would come and see you.
Yeah, come on, Richard. Those Air Canada flights go straight into Kelowna. That's only a stone's throw away from us. Yeah, it's a similar thing here. We've had a couple of light dustings so far, about a week or two ago. And then we've had a little bit of dry but warm weather. I've just spent a week on holiday, actually, a little bit south of here with the family. And I've come back and it's very chilly autumnal, which, I think is a good sign. There's a bit of forecast of some precipitation high up on the mountains. So I'm hoping similar thing that we start to see some snow up top late October here, because that's kind of a good sign for us here. We've also got John Coe saying, hey, from Yorkshire.
Hey, John.
Joe,
hello.
yeah, thanks for watching, John. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's been a long summer here with hot temperatures, lots of smoke and fires.
Yes, I saw. Yeah, the wildfires. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just down in Kelowna, near Kelowna, with my family, and they had a really, really bad fire there this summer. It was right on the other side of the river from the town. So as you go down into the city, the entire side of the hill there is just like charred trees. And yeah, we had a few real smoky, dark days here. It was like something out of the apocalypse.
It's crazy, yeah. And Greece got it as well, and there was a few other places that got similar treatment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where are you? You're Revelstoke, right? And where you're talking about is near Big White. Is that right?
Big White is about three hours drive from us. So Big White is the resort near Kelowna City. So if you fly into Kelowna, it's a 1 hour drive up from the bottom of Kelowna. I've been there once early season, but when it's open, the full thing's a pretty good resort.
There is a ski teacher from Big White who does a lot, or did do a lot on YouTube. He's got quite a lot of videos. Is it Josh someone? His
name doesn't ring a bell. Is he still there at Big White?
I think so. Yeah, I think he might even run the ski school, or he's part of like the infrastructure. Let's say. For life, I can't remember. It'll come to me.
Okay. Richard was at Revelstoke last year. I left.
Yeah, I actually told him to look you up. I did.
Okay. He said I left a message for you at the office on the hill, but sorry, I'm going to Sun Peaks this year. Well, unfortunately, Richard, so I don't work at the office at the hill. We've got a separate office for the sales and marketing team. But no, it was nice of you to leave a message. I'll keep an eye out for that next time.
Message is probably still there waiting for you.
Yeah, it probably is. I'll have to go see him. Did anybody leave a note for me? Gosh. No, that's yeah. So Sun Peaks is another one within about two hours drive of here. Sun Peaks is just above Kamloops, and that's a really good area. Lots of groomed runs there. Really good, efficient grooming network.
I'm trying to see if I can find out this guy's name.
Richard said we had a lot of smoke here in Toronto from the fires up north in Ontario and Quebec. Yeah, it was. I think I saw somewhere that they reckon there was 3 million hectares burnt this summer in Canada.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But that's Canada, just wild climates, winter and summer.
So excited for the winter, but
yeah,
obviously snow is needed. Snow is very much needed.
Where you are, what are the scheduled opening dates?
16th of October.
Tomorrow.
Which has been moved to the 21st.
Okay.
So the 21st being, what's that, next Saturday, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next Saturday. Now, when they say open, they could open the very top lift and say they're open, which is possibly what they're going to do, because they were moving some snow from the depots over there. I saw on the webcams the other day. I actually think it'll get pushed back a little bit, and they'll wait for some more natural snow to come. And I think the beginning of November. And as I said earlier, if we ski in October, it's a bonus. You know, if we've got plenty of snow in October, it's a bonus. It comes in November. Last year was a similar case, albeit there was more up there at this time than there is this year. We seem to have lost a lot this summer, even though it was reported that the snowpack on Austrian glaciers at the end of May into June was bigger than it had been for 15 years. We seem to have lost a serious amount this summer up there. That's possibly because of the amount of rain we had. We had a stupid amount of rain for 10 days in June and 10 days in August. And that looks like it's done a serious amount of damage. So this time last year, they were able to open with what they had and what they'd moved off the snow depots. But the reports, and I never bother going up, the reports were it wasn't good and it was very stony and ski teachers were asking people who, if anyone had old skis they could use because they were ruining their skis. And then when the majority of the courses started, which was the 4th of November again, it started to snow on the 3rd, and it snowed all day on the 4th. And on the 5th, the sun came out. The mountain was full of snow, and it was glorious. And I'm expecting the same again. It is set to. So you were saying about your temperatures last week, up until yesterday. It's very cold of a night time. It's very cold in the morning when you go out, or when I go out with the dog. But by 3 o'clock, it was 22, 23, 24 degrees, which is crazy. Yesterday it cooled off. Today it's been cold all day long. It's been 7 degrees in the village. So it's been below freezing all day on the mountain. Next week the maximum is going to be around 15. So that means the top of the mountain on the glacier is still going to be very cold. What we haven't got in that forecast for next week is any, as you call it, precipitation. Wetness falling from the sky. I don't use that word because I can't spell it.
I'm also not a weatherman, so I don't know why I was using such a sophisticated
No, it's a
word.
great word. I'm going to use it on the snow report this year.
Okay. Richard says, they told me you had the day off and we're probably somewhere on the hill. Yeah, that sounds about right. Simon's here saying hi to us both, and he is excited for the season. I've been meaning to put you two together because I think Simon's planning out looking at some maybe early season trips, maybe thinking about coming to Austria at some point.
Okay, good.
But he's I think he's expecting a child sometime soon, Simon.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. If Simon's having a child, or do you mean Simon's partner's having a child?
Yeah.
To be fair, with all of this, I don't know what they call it, and we might not be possibly wanting to go there, but all of this, he, she, it, what, Simon could be having a child.
Okay, I heard it's going to be a skier. That's all that matters.
Okay,
not a snowboarder.
Rather than a snowboarder.
Yeah. So we were talking a little bit then about the opening dates. So where you are not long to go, and obviously still subject to what the conditions are like. We're hoping for a good winter of snow, right? Sounds like Europe needs it after the last few.
There are places that are open. Hintertux is open and Pitztal is open, albeit the conditions are pretty dire, and it's full of the racers that you would expect to be there. I've seen people are in Saas-Fee. I saw one of the coaches from the Swiss team earlier last week, and he said they've been in Zermatt, which was all right, and they've been in Saas-Fee, which he said for what they were doing was absolutely brilliant because it was bulletproof ice and they were training Super G. So some places are open, skiing is going on, but it's predominantly open for race teams going up at like 5:30 in the morning. They're opening the lifts for them. They're taking them up on snowcats. The course is getting set up the minute the sun comes up. They're training, but that kind of happens wherever the conditions at this time of year. I think by the beginning of November we'll be okay here in Kaprun, and then they'll turn the machines on the lower slopes once it gets really cold, and we'll go into the winter as we normally do. What we've got to remember, or what we've got to start getting used to, is Christmas week is never as snowful, if that's a word, if that's a terminology, than it used to be. The snow seems to come. It does come in November, and November can be extremely cold. And then December, you might not see much snowfall, and then it starts to come again in January. So I think people, and you see this in bookings, people's holidays are shifting. Christmas week's a great week to come with the snow because it's dirt cheap compared to New Year, which is about 75% more than Christmas week. Then we know it drops off because all of the schools go back. So if you haven't got kids, you're not a teacher, then you want to get away the first, second, third week of January before it then starts to build for February. I think I'm on 12 years now, 11 or 12 years in Kaprun. We've only had really one or two where we didn't have snow at Christmas. But then it literally snowed on New Year's Eve or on Christmas Day, so it's shifting, things are changing, but it'll come and we'll still be able to ski for sure.
Yeah, just going to read out a few comments because it's popping off in the live chat here. Joe's just joined us saying, yo. Hey, Joe, good to see you again. Simon, hopefully some glacier skiing at some point outside of the peak season.
6th of January is a fantastic time to come to Kaprun.
Yep. So right after all the New Year crowd have left.
Yeah, it's like the prices drop down. It won't be as busy. And yeah, it's a great time to come, and the snow should be there.
Nice. Ollie has joined as well. Hope you're both well. I'm doing well, thanks, Ollie. Counting down the days in now and trying to get those ski legs ready. What have you been doing to prepare for the season, Andy? Been hiking or drinking or?
I have to say that this summer, like last summer, has been not good for winter preparation. Last year we did 6 days a week for most of the weeks. This year we did 7 days a week for 12 weeks. It was extremely busy. I was dead when we finished. I didn't get out on my bike. I've been out on my bike 4 times since the end of last winter. I've done very little, and I'm not in the best of shape, to be fair, to be going into a winter season. That was the same last year. I got through the season. My only fear is injury, and I actually got injured at the end of last season, and that would have been from not being as fit as I should have been, and from being tired, because I ended up rupturing my calf in the slush on Glocknavis in Zell of all places, doing something really stupid. And I've said many a times on different videos, injuries come when we do stupid things, or injuries come when we're tired, or when we're not quite fit enough. And hey presto, I was tired, I wasn't quite fit enough, and I did something stupid, and I ruptured my calf, and that was the end of my season. I think it was the last day of March or the first day of April last year. So I missed about 4 weeks, and hey presto, that's when all the powder came. So unlike other summers, I've actually not done a great deal. I should have been on the bike, I should have been doing training. It just hasn't happened, which is not ideal. But we've talked about this a lot on the podcast that I used to do with Paul from SIA. Good technique can help poor condition, but poor condition can't help bad technique. So I'll be all right, but I'll get tired. I will get tired, But a bit of a pain. I started tracking my steps today, which I've never ever done, because I just want to make sure I'm doing enough steps. Unfortunately, I can't really hike much anymore because I can't go downhill. I can hike on the flat, or I can do contour hikes, but I can't hike up and then walk back down because I can't get down with my knee.
That's true.
Which is a pain. But
Simon says his child is definitely going to do both, so he's going to board and ski.
Nah, man. Don't do that to the poor thing. Honestly.
No, don't, Simon. Joe says he can't wait till the season. That makes 3 of us here, Joe. We're all looking forward to it. He's going January to Les Arcs 1800 for 2 weeks, and then Hintertux to get his level 1 snowboarding course. I'll read out. He's got a question for you in a second, Andy. John's chimed in again from Yorkshire. I usually go to Hinterglen the first couple of weeks in January. Also had snow to ski on. And then Joe's question, Andy, have you got any tips for traveling to Austria? I'm going to Hintertux in April for my level 1 snowboard qualification.
Depends how you plan on traveling, Joe. Whether you're going to drive or fly. If you are driving, then obviously you've got a choice of tunnel or boat. Price-wise now, there's not much difference. I've just been back to the UK, and I was very surprised that they wanted about 110 euros for the boat, and they wanted 150 euros for the train. So it's not cheap. If you are driving, I would definitely split it with at least 1 night stop. So I don't know where in the UK you're based, but this time I started in Canterbury on the way back. So I was very close to the train. I did the training and then drove to Frankfurt, had an overnight in Frankfurt, and then I drove the second leg Frankfurt back to Austria. Obviously, if you're flying, then your only real thing is the flight's obviously going to get you to whichever airport you're coming into. Then how are you going to get from the airport to Hintertux? And depending on the airport, probably train or bus or shared transfer. But if you let me know if you're driving, then I can send you some other information. But definitely take a break unless you're driving with some other people and you can share the driving. I came back last year, did it in one hit, and I really wish I hadn't done it in one hit. It took me 24 hours, and it was extremely dangerous the last 7 hours.
Joe says he's
fly.
Yeah.
Where
are you flying to, Joe? Are you going to fly into Salzburg, Munich, or Innsbruck? What are you thinking? I mean, Salzburg would be the nearest one, right, Andy?
The Hintertux, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Oh, sorry, for Hintertux, it would be Innsbruck then.
Innsbruck, wouldn't it? Yeah, be Innsbruck, and then getting from Innsbruck to Hintertux should be relatively easy. But airline-wise, it's going to depend on your. If you want to go from a regional airport, you're going to have to go from whoever flies from there. If you want a specific airline and a specific cheap flight, then you're going to have to then travel to the airport. I think EasyJet in the winter go from Liverpool, Bristol, Stansted. I want to say Ryanair is definitely Stansted. Obviously, BA's Gatwick and Heathrow. There are other regional airports. He's going to Innsbruck. Okay.
Yeah.
From where?
Bristol, most likely.
Bristol, Jet 2, I think, do Bristol. Might know actually, because he was at the airport quite often. I think Jet 2 do Bristol and EasyJet do Bristol.
Yeah, I'm trying to
remember whether they do Bristol to Innsbruck. I don't know, because I'm more focused on Salzburg myself.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember from my Crystal days, and I know that 2E definitely did a couple of flights into Innsbruck. I can't remember where. But Innsbruck would definitely be your best bet, Joe. And then from there, you've got a couple of options, because there's a really special train that takes you up from Innsbruck to the base of Meyerhofen. Quite a unique train. And then from there, I mean, if you're it depends whereabouts you're staying. Like if you're staying in Meyerhofen or actually in Hintertux itself, you'd probably, there'd be a public transport like a bus or something, I'm sure. Ollie says Innsbruck's a great airport, lots of reliable airlines flying from the UK. I seem to remember Innsbruck would often shut down more than Salzburg, though, if the weather's bad.
Well, and Innsbruck's extremely small, isn't it?
Yeah. So I do tend to remember whether it was Salzburg or Innsbruck, but if the weather was bad and they couldn't get you in, they'd divert you to Munich. And then it'd be a 3-hour bus ride from there. Joe says, great, I'll do some research. Thanks, guys.
Who are you doing your snowboard course with, Joe?
I think it's Basie. No, it's I think he's doing the Basie one from what I remember.
Okay.
Yeah. John, sorry. Did the opening week last season and it was okay. Some lifts not open though. Possibly come last minute this year, depending on the conditions.
Yeah, last year the snow in Saalbach Hinterglemm was a little bit later. Although what you do find, and we skied loads last year in Saalbach Hinterglemm with the camps. Probably the most I'd skied there since I've been back in Austria. What they can do is they are really good at looking after their snow.
Yeah,
they prepare their snow so well. You turn up in the morning and it's amazing what has turned to absolute crap during the day and during the warm weather. They really do re-prepare it so well. Yeah. And I can only say the other place I've been where they can do that as well is the Skivelt area. So like Schaffau, Sol, where you were, Sol, Schaffau, Brixen, Almau, also amazing at looking after the snow. We quite often criticise the Kitzsteinhorn for their preparation, but to be fair, they're up against it. They have to prepare it once the slopes close at 4, and have it done as soon as they can to get the drivers off the glacier and down back into the village. With a Maisvogel, they can do it later at night when it's colder. And if you're preparing snow when it's colder, it will prepare better than if it's still warm. But Salbach they are masters at looking after their snow, and once they've got it, they keep it.
Nice. Joe saying, yeah, public transport. Sorry, John saying public transport in Austria is really easy. I agree there. I absolutely love the train. There's a station in Kaprun, I think, if I'm right there. Is that right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a little substation. So you would, if you were going to train it from Salzburg to Zell,
yeah,
you can then get a smaller train to Kaprun, but you would just be better jumping on the bus because the train station is outside of Kaprun. So you'd then have to get a bus into Kaprun. So you may as well just change onto the bus rather than change to the train. But there is, it's the local train that goes all the way to Krimmel when the railway line has not been flooded and washed away.
Yeah. So Joe's doing his course with Basie.
Okay.
English Bob asks, what's the cost of a season pass for the Zay? I'm guessing that's Zalmzee. Like, do you know what the cost is?
377 euros for the Alpine card for a week, covering Kaprun, Zalmzee, Saarbach, Hinterglemm, Fieberbrunn, Leogang. That is the peak week price, I want to say. So any other week would be slightly cheaper, but it's around that, English Bob.
That's a 1 week skiing, did you say, for the whole season?
1 week.
Okay.
Oh, so you want a season pass? Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't see. Oh, season pass. Ooh, we put this on our Facebook page about 4 weeks ago, and I want to say if you get it in the pre-sale, which is now, it's around about 700-800. If you get it after pre-sale, it's almost 1,000 this year. Right. It's just below. There are some places that have gone over 1,000, which is ridiculous.
I reckon that they must do it differently over there in Europe, because like a lot of the resorts, Revelstoke included here, they start selling their season passes as soon as the actual previous winter closes, and they do like an early bird sale, then a summer sale, and then they go into the full winter pricing. So we're already on full winter pricing now.
What's funny is last summer, so end of last winter, and not last winter being the one we've just had, the one before. So what are we on? We've just had 22-23, so 21-22. At the end of that winter, because there was all of this energy crisis stuff going on, and no one knew how much electricity was going to cost, and whatever, they didn't publish the lift prices until around about October.
All right.
Middle of September, October, because they're holding off. This year they've published them. I think they came out beginning of September, which is still late. But again, it was like they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting. But yeah, there's a pre-season price that anybody can buy. There's a local price, and then once you've gone past the pre-season, you're on the full whack. And you've got two choices with your season pass, English Bob, and that's your Alpen card, which is the resorts I just listed, or you can have the Salzburg one that takes in everyone in Salzburg land and Kitzbühel, which that is almost 1,000 this year, I believe. Yeah.
Nice. A couple more comments here, keeping them coming, guys. Just really enjoying these. So back on Joe's snowboarding there, hoping to do level 2 next season. English Bob asking about the cost. Okay, so we've just answered that one, the cost of a season pass. John, again, I agree. Saalbach, Hinterglemm, great to ski, especially fourth thing in the morning. I think he means first. Yeah.
First.
Joe wants to say good luck to everyone this season. Don't forget to have fun, try your best, and keep shredding. And try not to get injured.
Yeah, sure. Right. Joe, just out of interest, what's your goal doing your Basie 1 and 2 snowboarding? What's your plan? Yeah. What are you doing it for?
James has joined. Hey guys, think a season pass for me in Selbach is 500 to 700 pre-sale. No, 600 to 700 pre-sale.
Yeah, it's somewhere thereabouts, isn't it? Which is the same pass that you would buy here in Kaprun. Yeah. I said, we Alpen Carpet. There we go, 760. Yeah, nice. Yeah, 900. Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money. But then saying that, it's a lot of money if you're coming over, and I do have people who come over and they do 3 individual weeks, and they buy. I buy their season passes in the pre-sale,
right?
Because 377 times 3 is a lot more than 760 in the pre-sale.
Yeah.
So I have clients that will transfer me money. I'll go and buy them their lift passes, and when they arrive on the first day, I've typically sold them to someone else. No, I'll hand them over. But if you're not doing, I think it's 15 days is where the break even point is. If you're not doing 15 days, then you don't need a season pass.
Yeah. Yeah, it obviously depends on when you're buying it, but it's a similar thing with us around that sort of 13, 14 day mark, depending on what the window rate is.
The day rate this year is pretty expensive. I think it's something like 57 euros.
57 euros
is a lot of money, man.
I think they've got ours here is being advertised as $179 for this year.
What's that in pounds or euros?
Gosh, off the top of my head, it's usually about. Actually, hang on, I'll quickly search it here. CAD to GBP, about £108
a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, but they've been selling the winter lift tickets on the website since like early August, where they've had like 45% sales. So, you know, there's lots of push to get early bookings. And yeah, obviously those day rates are more for the weekend visitors, or the people driving through. But we get a lot of people with the cards like the Icon. Especially the American market that come through. Joe's responded here. So basically, I've always loved snowboarding, and I really want to teach people how to snowboard and develop the passion I have for it to them. I also want to be in the Alps, and I aim to get at least to level 2, but then hopefully one day level 3 or even 4. So that's what Joe's plans are.
Okay. Very good. Good.
Yeah.
Go for it.
John Co, day rate 72 euros. And then
Really?
Joe's asking if you've got a YouTube channel, Andy. Of course you do.
I do. Snowcamps Europe. If you put Snowcamps Europe into YouTube, you'll find us also on Facebook. Very limited snowboarding stuff, to be fair, mate.
Yeah.
Pretty much nothing.
But
loads of other useful stuff.
Yeah.
Especially the snow report, which comes out every Wednesday from probably next week or the weekend.
Yeah, there's not many other channels I've seen that actually do like a weekly snow report as good as you. Like, because it really, I mean, you're there on the scene for starters, which helps.
It's funny. Like a lot of things, it just started suddenly one day. It was like, let's form a snow report, and now I think we're on to our 5th year of it.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic because we've got 5 years of data that we can look back on.
Yeah.
I've evolved the on-screen graphics over the years, and I try and do it from different spots on the mountain every week, and it's actually it gets a good number of views on YouTube and Facebook every week now, and it's brought a lot of people to the Facebook page and to the channel, who've then kind of benefited from the other content that we put on there. But there are some other people out there that do snow reports that I've seen, but I do think ours is possibly one of the most comprehensive on YouTube that I've seen. I'm sure there are more that I've not seen, to be honest. But yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people, when you look at weather apps, if you're in the UK and you look at a weather app for Austria, it's bobbins. It's not telling you what's going on.
Yeah.
Unless you're looking at the weather apps that we use in Austria, then you might have a slightly more better indication. But I put it out on a Wednesday because it's a few days before people are coming. It's a few days into the people's holidays who have already arrived.
Yeah.
And yeah, we try and the main thing is it's honest. I don't sugarcoat it. If the snow's rubbish, I tell you the snow's rubbish. If there's loads in the forecast, I tell you there's loads in the forecast. I don't tell stories. It is, if it's crap, it's crap.
Yeah. Simon always grabs his season pass early.
I'll say it as it is, and I think that's what people want.
Bit of an overlag there. Yeah, no, it's the honesty is definitely what I think people gravitate to, and especially if you're like coming out that week, you know, you know, if it's a bad week, you want to have realistic expectations.
Exactly. And the other thing you get from that snow report is if it isn't so good, I tell you where it is good. So like the lower part of Zell at that time might not be so great. So go over the back of Zell, or don't go to the Maasgogel, get up to the glacier, get up early, do your skiing between 8:30 and 12:30, and then go to the spa, you know? So you'll you get that honesty, and I learned that through the COVID stuff, to be honest, because people needed honest, accurate information during COVID. And as you know, and as a lot of people who are on here at the moment know, I went live pretty much every day for 2 years during COVID.
Yeah.
And it was all honest and more accurate information that people were being fed from other places. And that is one of the things that really built our following on Facebook. And I actually have to thank COVID for that, because without it, it would have been a lot harder to build that following. Yeah. I think Joe's saying he misses the dog walks. The dog walks will be back very soon, mate.
There's a couple more. This is definitely, I mean, the comments are just non-stop today. It's real good. So Simon always grabs his season pass early. Got to grab the deal. Joe is going to head over and check out your channel afterwards and subscribe. Good lad. Ollie watches your report. He says it's a very good snow report.
Cheers, Ollie.
And then I think Joe's having a chat with Simon in the comments about snowboarding. John looks forward to Andy's snow report, but he misses the dog walks. Are they coming back?
Dog walks will be back. Once we start walking and the season started, then I will do at least one a week. Normally do them in the morning. Dog walk is normally on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And then I do a live from the lift on a Monday. The snow report on a Wednesday, and then another live from the lift maybe on a Thursday, or if I'm up there on a Friday. Unless something special happens, then I go live from a lift for something special. But yeah, dog walks will be back. Dog is about to turn 13, so the walks are slightly shorter than they used to be. But yeah, dog walks will be back.
Nice. Ollie says, your lockdown Facebook updates were incredible, very helpful, and came to skiing in Austria the moment you opened back before Christmas. Glad you carried on the honest momentum.
Cheers, Ollie. Yeah. Do I know Ollie? Do you know Ollie?
Ollie's been on the live streams for a couple of weeks now. He's been a follower of mine, but I didn't know that he watched your channel as well.
Good lad, Ollie.
Yeah, good lad, Ollie. Well and you've just gained a subscriber from Joe there as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I maybe will even get on a snowboard this winter just for you, Joe.
Well, at least get a photo with one. That'll count. Yeah. I wanted to move on to gear. Actually, obviously we're approaching the season, and we last couple of streams I've chatted a bit about gear. I've just bought a couple of things. Have you bought anything new for this season?
Not as yet. I am waiting for a pair of atomic boots to arrive, let's say, with the new BOA system on them, because the BOA system kind of made its appearance at the end of last season. Some of the manufacturers put them out early, and you could actually buy them at the end of the season or during the season. Unfortunately, I wanted to do a review of a pair of these BOA boots, and none of the prototypes were in my size. So I had to wait for the actual stock to be produced, and it should be coming across very soon. And I'm hoping I'm going to get a pair of atomic BOA boots to test and review and maybe utilize or use for the rest of the season as a second pair of boots. Other than that, I got a new pair of skis middle end of last season. which are good for this season. Another pair of Atomic red. I want to say, what are they? G7s or something? The green ones.
Yeah.
With the little silver bits on the top. They've changed the top sheet and the dampening mechanism a few times over the last few years. Got a pair of them during the last season. Got these Atomic boots on the way. I do need to replace my gloves because my gloves are worn through. But other than that, the only thing that is new really is we have produced some Snow Camp Europe ski goggles.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. Have you got?
Okay, good. I wasn't sure if that's where we were going, but well brought up, Matt.
I thought it was a smooth transition.
I wasn't sure if this was the moment I should plug the goggles that I just happen to have here in this nice couch.
You would have thought.
Yeah, so this was this summer's project. Every year, anyone who comes on a camp gets something, and we've done backpacks in the past. We've done water bottles. We did buffs, and last year the buffs, I thought they were all right. And one of the guests, Val. Val said, I said, "Where's your buff, Val?" She went, "Well, to be honest, it's quite cheapish. I didn't want to wear it." So I was like, "Oh, all right then." harsh but honest feedback. Thanks, Val. Yeah. So this year I went, right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to produce some ski goggles, which have cost me a lot more than the buffs did. It took a lot longer to kind of conceive and develop and whatnot. But they're here. So anyone who comes on a camp this year is going to get a pair of goggles for free. We are also selling them on the website for 160 euros. We were advised we could sell them for 200 plus, but I don't want to take the mickey out of people. No. It's not a revenue kind of exercise. It was more rewarding the people who come on the camps. But I'll quickly show them to you because they are pretty funky. So what I wanted to do is I didn't want to go and get a cheap pair of goggles and give people cheap goggles because the cheap buffs didn't work. So we've gone and we've got some extremely premium goggles, as good as most of the stuff that's on the shelves in the shops. So full gold Revo lens, UV 400 protection, category 4 for the sun, magnets, very strong magnets. Again, when you build a pair of goggles with a manufacturer, you can have different grades of magnets. I went for the strongest ones we could get. Triple foam, as you would expect from any premium goggle. A much nicer fit on the face, helps with moisture removal. We're also giving away with them a yellow flat light lens. Obviously, we branded the straps. Straps, as you would expect with any kind of premium goggle, have got the little wiggly rubber lines to stop them slipping off your helmet. And yeah, they are the people that have received them already, and we have sold several pairs on the website. The day they went live, we sold 6 or 7 pairs. Nice. Everyone's feedback so far has been good. Not many people have been able to stand on snow with them, but the feedback has been good. The inside, obviously, we've got to peel this off before we use it, but there is anti-fog coating, as you would expect, anti-scratch on the Revo lens. Yeah, so that was one of the things we did this year. And as I say, everyone who's coming on a camp is going to get a pair. If anybody wants to buy a pair, which I'm sure there are lots of people who do, I say 160 euros. That's the yellow lens. Again, there's a plastic sheet on the back, so it doesn't look as it is. But I have got a discount code for anyone who's watching, which I sent to you, and I can't remember what it was.
I think you sent Bramski 10.
Yeah. So if anyone goes onto the website and wants to buy a pair, use that discount code to save 10%. Or book a camp for 585 euros, and you get a free pair. And if you take 160 off 585, what's that? It's 425 for a week of skiing. Bargain. Absolute bargain. So yeah, that's the new thing for this year, and I'm looking forward to trying them myself. I've had them on the balcony in the sun, and the sun lens is definitely up there with anything else. I actually used a brand of goggles for the last 2 or 3 years that I was sent and asked to review, and there's a video of that review on my YouTube channel. and I actually spec'd these to the same, and in some respects a better spec than those goggles, because I'm not going to wear a pair of goggles that aren't going to protect my eyes on a glacier. So I'm not going to produce a pair of goggles that aren't going to protect your eyes on a glacier, you know. So they are the real deal. They're a very good pair of goggles.
I'm curious to see how they compare to my the ones that Outdoor Master sent me last season.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. And I am sending you a pair, as I've said. I just need to go to the post office. But you will have them once the snow is there. I'll try and get them sent off tomorrow.
No, that's all right. I didn't want to sort of, you know, put that question in there if you had sent it or not. But it was.
I was actually going to have them packaged up to show you with your address on, and I thought you might not want everyone to see your address, other than gifts, maybe.
I don't know how my landlords would feel about that.
Yeah. So no, yours are going to be on the way, because I want you to give them a good test and an honest review. See what you think of them. Another little funny story, very off tangent. And you've worked in Austria in the summer and the winter, and you know how the Austrians like a festival and a party. Yesterday there was a food truck and a load of nice tables in the centre of Kaprun, and there was a kind of a small party going on. And this morning I asked one of my neighbours, what was the party? And he said, the post office was 20 years old. Maybe if I'd been in and posted a parcel in the last week, I would have got an invite to the party.
But they do good celebrations like that in Austria. Like I remember from my time in Sol, and it's like, oh, if you've been a returning visitor to a particular accommodation for X amount of years, they'll throw you a little cake or something like that. Like I remember in one of the accommodations, someone had been coming back for 25 years.
Yeah.
So they got a bottle of something and a little cake, and you know, lots of singing. And we've got quite a few more questions here on the subject of gear. Andy, are you going to review some of the Stockley range of skis with the usual makes like Atomic?
Yes, the plan is, and there is a specific pair that I have already been asked to review, which I forget what they are, but they're a pair of all mountain Stockleys, and I will do that once we can get on snow and I can grab a pair. They are available to me, so I will try them out. I'm also, as well as there's the Atomic boots, there is Stockley skis are on the list, and there are other skis on the list as well. But the last 2 years, Atomic, Fisher, and the other main producers of skis haven't actually changed the skis. So even though this year's whatever I ski on, X7, X9 is it? I can't remember the green one. That changed last year and was a newer ski than the year before and 2 years before that. But all that's changed this year is the colour. So I don't want to review the same ski again just because it's changed colour, because the characteristics of the ski are going to be the same. So I am looking at other skis that either I haven't done before or have changed to test and review. So yeah, but there aren't that many of the main, what we would say mainstream brands, but Stockley is more of a, I would say, an ultra premium ski. But yeah, I am going to ski on some of them this year.
Joe, he went and did the first aid part of that Basie level 1 recently, and I gave him a bit of a scoop on what that was like, and turns out it was exactly how it was. Simon says there's some great deals out there at the moment. Talking about basic qualifications, these guys are, which is awesome. And Joe's just signed up to your, I'm guessing that's your newsletter, I think, Andy, on your website. Yeah. So you might have to do you might have to do a snowboard course at this rate.
Well, we had a couple of snowboarders come over last year who snowboarded in our ski school groups out on the same weeks as we had some ski camps running. And I do get emails for snowboard camps. However, if I accept one booking, I've then got a guarantee I get another 4 or 5 to make that week work. So until there is a good number of snowboarders emailing in for a camp, which we can put on with a high-level snowboarding coach, I can't just take ad hoc bookings for snowboarders on camps. Yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one.
I don't know where 55 minutes have gone. That's like absolutely flown by that.
5 minutes running. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And we didn't even talk about the award.
No, we didn't. We have to. Okay, we do have to talk about the awards. So
we do.
We need. It's a massive congratulations to you, because you. Correct me if I've got this wrong, but Snow Camps Europe has just been awarded the best ski course in Austria. Is that right?
Best ski course provider in Austria.
Massive congratulations.
Last year we won an award from a different organization, which was the best inbound travel agency. And this year we've won best ski course provider. I will point out here, Snow Camps Europe is not a ski school. We work within a ski school and within different ski school organizations. I do not own a ski school. Snow Camps Europe is a mixture of inbound tour operator and ski course provider. And yeah, we won this award from the Business Concept, which is one of these people who give out awards. How it typically works is somebody nominates you, or multiple people nominate you for an award. They then go through a kind of a criteria where they basically check you out, see if you are what these people have said. You then get told that you've been nominated. You have to submit a load of supporting documentation, and then they decide whether or not you're worthy of the award. And yeah, we won best ski course provider in Austria, which, if you look at the other people out there providing courses, there is a lot of them who've been in the business for a lot longer. We all do things slightly different. We all have slightly different personalities of how we deliver it. And yeah, brilliant. Something else for us to talk about, really, which is exactly what we're doing now. Last year's as well, best inbound travel agent. Fantastic. Any kind of recognition from people leaving a review on Facebook, a like on YouTube, a comment on YouTube, or something like this is absolutely phenomenal. How long have we been going with Snow Camps now? We started the year before COVID, and then we had 2 years of no business. So we've only been going for, what is it? This is our 3rd season, And I have to say, this year I've added an extra January camp, which I was thinking this could just dilute my normal January camp. Both camps are double the size of what they were last year. So it's really, really going well. Bookings are good. And you don't have to buy anything off us. One of the things that people don't understand is at Snow Camps Europe, we offer a free and resort service to anybody visiting Kaprun and Ozalem. So if you're coming over with Crystal, with Ingham's, with another tour provider, you don't have to buy anything from us. You don't have to book with us, but we are here to help you. Kaprun is now a pretty much unrepped resort from all of the major tour operators, and some people do rely on a rep service. You haven't got that anymore, but you have got us. So you can contact us pre, during, or post your holiday, and we will help you out. So yeah, and I think that's part of why we're getting some of this recognition. We are doing a lot of stuff for free, and it's value added.
Yeah. Do you like the majority of your clients, are they English based, or do you get sort of a broader range?
There's a good number of English people on the across the season. It's predominantly English people with private lessons and group lessons for the ski school, and English people using the free and resort service. On the camps, it's a mixture. So Slovenia, Slovakia, Belgium, some Dutch. We've had some Italians in the past. Obviously, Richard from Canada. So the camp weeks are very much mixed. Still a bias to English people, obviously, because the Facebook channel and the YouTube channel is all very English biased. But we have got an international following. And we got an American last year, a couple of Americans who are returning this year. And again, that kind of blows my mind. This will be Richard's 3rd time. Richard's done 2 camps before now, and he then went away to Argentina on our recommendation with SIA. He's coming back in the pre-season in April next year. To have people to travel from Canada and America really makes me think we must be doing something right. You know,
sure.
because when he can travel to you in probably less time, it just, it's fantastic. It really is. And we really appreciate people who make that effort.
We've got more comments again. Andy, what level are you? Are you level 4 Alpine?
Not
sure.
ISTB. I'm not. No. I am a level 3 Austrian ISIA. So international license. I was training for my Austrian level 4 when I smashed my knee up in 2017, and since then I just concentrated on snow camps and didn't try to get any further. To be honest, and there is a video on the YouTube channel about the Euro test. It was training for the Euro test that smashed my knee up. That's pretty much changed my life in that I can't hike up and down mountains. I can't walk properly. Luckily, I can still ski. I do have a reaction at the end of every day. But I decided not to push it anymore and try and get that level 4. I've done it 30 years ago. I'm pretty sure I would have easily passed it. Doing it now at my age and when I was in 2017, then I was pushing it. I think in 2017, if I got onto the level 4 course, I would have been one of the oldest people to have got onto it. And if I'd passed it, one of the oldest people to ever pass it. So I knocked it on the head, mate. And to be honest, who was it that asked that question? Joe.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe. You don't need it. You only need it if you want to open a ski school or work independently, which I don't need to do or want to do. And the increment of payment that you would get from a ski school from being a good experienced level 3 versus a level 4 is marginal. And it costs you about, well, in the Austrian system to do your level 4, most people say it costs them about 10,000 euros. You're never going to recoup it, never in a month of Sundays, unless you set up independently or open a ski school. And them opportunities are also very slim. So no, I'm not level 4, and I don't make out I'm a level 4, which there are people out there that do.
Question from Richard. Do you think it's better to buy new boots at home where there is a local boot fitter or in resort where I can take them out on snow?
You know the answer to that, Richard. As you're going to be here for 3 weeks on that first trip, Richard, I would do it here because, one, you'll get the discounts that we can get you in the shops. Also, you can go back in every single day, tweak, adjustment. Where if you buy them in Canada, get them fitted, then come over here. If you've got an issue, you're going back into the shop, and you're going to have to pay for every adjustment. So I would do it here. Especially as you're here for the 3 weeks in November, December. There are very good boot fitters around the world. One of them, shout out to Solutions for Feet, Colin, who's been at the ski show the last 2 days. If you go in and see Colin in Bicester, he is going to give you the best possible fit, taking into consideration him looking at your foot and everything you tell him. Then you might still need to get a tweak during your holiday or when you get back. But if you end up with an average boot fitter outside of a resort, then you're probably going to have visit in resort. So if you come in for 3 or 4 weeks, do it in resort.
Some congratulation comments, Joe, on the award. Congratulations. Sorry, John. I keep saying John and Joe. I do apologise.
Yeah, John Coe.
John
keeps threatening to come and see me in Kaprun and buy me a beer, but he never does.
Go on, John. Well done, Andy. That's from Joe. And Ollie, also congratulations, well done. English Bob says that snow camps is the best. No one other comes close.
Cheers, English Bob. Do we know English Bob?
Bob? This is the first time I've seen English Bob on the channel, I think. I could be wrong, but I appreciate you commenting, English Bob.
English Bob, who are you?
Yeah, have to give it to Andy. He really goes all out to make it a great week of learning, fun, and entertainment. So he must have come on one of your courses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You got me baffled, English Bob.
Awesome. Still amazing to get level 3 ISIA. The ISTD stands for International Ski Teacher Diploma.
It does.
Yep.
It does. Yeah.
And Joe saying there, cool, Andy, proud of you. Andy, is there a certain time of the season I should head over to Kaprun from Saalbach? It'll be on my Alpine card, so I want to give it a go if I can.
Are you there for the season, James? If you are, then is he there for the season?
I think so.
Yeah, if you're there for the season, then just whenever the conditions are fantastic on the kit sign, or like if we've got a massive big dump one night, then get over first thing, get on the 8:15 Betcha Jet 1. Been on 3 now and coming out hopefully 2 seasons. English Bob.
Oh.
I don't know where you've gone, mate. We're talking about best time to come over. Yeah, just if we've had a big dump, then get over. But other times that are really good on the glacier in Kaprun are March, because it's warmer and we normally have very good snow quality because it gets cold at night but warmer in the days. When Saalbach starts to get a little bit slushier. English Bob. I'm thinking English Bob is.
You're going to have a look through your bookings.
It's not Bob, is it? It's Adrian. I'm sure it's Adrian. What did he say? Been on 3 now and coming out hopefully 2. It's Adrian. Adrian, if that's you, give us a thumbs up. I'm still having steak babies, by the way, mate. I think that's Adrian, and I was over with him. I was over with him last week, and he made 3 phenomenal steaks. I tell you, best steaks I've had outside a restaurant, even inside some restaurants. And we had a right good night at his place in the Midlands. It is.
It is him, yeah.
Well, why are you calling yourself English Bob?
Yeah. Keeping us on our toes there, that is.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Steak baby.
Yeah. John skis over to Zell from Hintergem quite a lot, and one day we'll make it over to Kaprun.
Good.
The only reason I might get my level 4 is maybe to work in France one day. What is the pay like level 3 in comparison to level 4?
So, Joe, in France, if you are a level 4, and you've got to be a level 4, and you get the right to work, because obviously if you've not got a British passport, that's going to be a hindrance. If you get the right to work and you are a level 4, you can work independently and you can work for a ski school, and the payment in France is a lot better than it is in Austria. And depending on who you work for, it can be considerably better, phenomenally better. Austria is not very well paid for ski teachers, as are most places, to be honest, for what we do. And that is why there are people like myself who start side businesses to bolster the ski teacher payment. I don't live from my ski teacher payment. I live from Snow Camps Europe. I could do this if I just got my ski teacher payment, but I wouldn't have as good a life as I do. So in France, it's a different kettle of fish. You would earn very good money as a level 4, or you could earn very good money as level 4. But what you might find, Joe, is there are not many ski schools anywhere that only have snowboard qualified instructors, because there are less people taking snowboard lessons, and they normally want you to be dual qualified. So on the quiet snowboard weeks, you can teach skiing as well. So whenever people come over here to do a snowboard anverter, we always try and encourage them to do a dual qualification, which is the ski anverter with snowboard as a tag on. They can then continue their snowboard progression and do level 2, level 3, but they've always got that level 1. And when I say level 1, it's the equivalent to a level 2 Basie ski. So they can teach on a mountain environment. And when the ski school doesn't need snowboard teachers, they don't get signed off and literally put on the dole for the quiet weeks. They can conduct ski lessons. So if you can ski, try and do both qualifications. There will be some snowboard schools in France, that will take snowboard only teachers because they only specialize in snowboarding. But again, you getting into that snowboard school is going to be more difficult than gaining a job in a ski school or a snow sports school, let's say, that does everything. So be careful with that. And that's why at the beginning I was being a little bit flippant, saying, like, why snowboard? Why? Because it is harder to do a full season of full-time work as a snowboard teacher. Pay-wise, you'll get paid the same. A snowboard teacher, ski teacher, you get paid the same.
Yeah.
But in France, you will earn considerably more than you do in Austria.
Yeah. I think obviously that's a few years away for Joe to think about, but good to obviously know, what comes around with.
Yeah, and by the time he's got his level 4, depending how quickly he does it, by the time he's got it, the visa thing might be sorted out. British people might be able to freely work in Europe again. You can do it. There are ways of doing it now. The processes aren't the easiest. We've got some British guys going to work for my partner's ski school this year again. They're going through the visa process or work permit process, whatever you want to call it, and they're going to get them because the ski school have been told they've got an allocation of 6, and they can get it. But it is more difficult than it was. A lot more difficult.
Callum, where is the best place to go skiing?
Don't matter. Skiing.
Yeah, it's where
it's great.
Not Revelstoke. Don't come to Revelstoke. It's not worth it.
Nah, Kaprun. Don't go Kaprun. Glacier. No good. Not the powder day.
Powder, no.
That's a very big, broad question, mate. But it's really strange one because some people discard very small resorts that have got 3 or 4 lifts and 15 kilometers a piece. And some of them resorts are actually better than the big resorts, Three Valleys, let's say, or here where we say we've got 418 kilometers of piste. You don't need masses and masses of piste. Ideally, you need some good snow quality. And I say the ski school I've just said about the 6 British teachers are going to work. That area is a phenomenal area, has phenomenal snow record. Yeah. But I guarantee if I gave you a list of 5 resorts, you wouldn't pick it because you go 3 ski lifts, 15 kilometers skiing. I'm not going there. Yeah, you'd be missing out.
I think it's. I mean, you're right. Having done the big ski areas, and then you go to some of the little ones, you actually realize that, especially some of the smaller resorts, have a lot more character. They sometimes have the better food, the better. It's a little bit more of maybe like an intimate and community feel to them. And I've always found that's made for a better experience. Having done my time in Val Thorens, but then come to places like Sol and like Revelstoke, and it's there's just a little bit more of a nice feel to the town when you're on the mountain, and then when you're there, it's often the same people, the same type of energy, and I mean it might only be a couple of pieces or a couple of lifts, but if they're bloody good ones, then there's nothing wrong with constantly doing them over and over.
Yeah, one of the things I keep talking about with snow camps, and I really want to do is I want to take a group of people away from this area to over near Upper Austria, and I want to do literally a different place today. So one day with a place called the Wurzelbaum, another Hinterstoder, and there's Tauplitz, Planet Alm, and there's all of these different areas, and some of the ones I've just mentioned are quite big.
Yeah,
literally do a different one each day. Stay in a central place, drive for 25-30 minutes each morning to get there, which means we wouldn't do as much après in resort. Let's say it would be kind of drive there, do the ski and drive back. That day would be done, so it'll be a different kind of experience. But there are so many resorts out there. There's something like 168 ski resorts in Austria. Look at a crystal brochure, you'll see 25, and it's the same 25 that have been there for 25 years. And I could probably name all of them right now. And outside of them, there's some great areas. Just up the road here, we got the Weissei Glacier. Yeah. Very old infrastructure because once the Kitzsteinhorn Glacier got developed, all of the money got spent on the Kitzsteinhorn Glacier. But the ski area up at the Weissei is amazing, unreal. Free ride, and it's just and people do go there. People go there on holiday. But
the Ski Armade's a good area as well. You've got so many different resorts there, like Wargrain, Hofgestein, Bad Hofgestein.
Yeah, Flacco, Flacco-Winkel, all of that.
I love those
like
names.
Maria Raum. People say Maria Raum. Look at
Yeah.
Mulbach. Look at Denton. I went to Mulbach in 1984. It's a massive linked area, and if you say to someone Maria Raum, they go, "Oh, Maria Raum," because it's in the books. You say Mulbach, and they go, "Where's that?" Oh, I'm not going to go there. You want to go there? Trust me, you want to go to Mulbach. And there's so many places like that. So many places.
So James is there. He's there in Saalbach all season. So if I can get the bus over to Kaprun, I'll definitely do that. Joe says, thank you, Andy, for all the information. I don't suppose you know what the ESF pay hourly. Any idea what the École de Ski Français?
Nah, but Joe, message me, either send me an email or a Facebook message, and I'll give you an idea of the difference between the parity of pay between Austria and France. But I don't know exactly what they pay per hour.
Thanks, Andy, for all that info. It's much appreciated. Final couple of comments here from Ollie. I've skied lots in the Otzau Valley in Austria and then went to the Three Valleys 1 year and did not get it. Too big, in my opinion. Small resorts can offer better quality.
Yeah, I've never skied the Three Valleys, and I'm sure it is phenomenal. But the thing that puts me off is it's in France. Otztal I've not skied. I might do at some point. But yeah, and it's not. There are small resorts linked to big areas. So Mulbach village is very small. It's linked with a very big area. You could say Kaprun's a small village, but we've got adequate skiing in and around us. There are these little tiny pockets where, as I say, they've got 15 kilometers of pistes, albeit one piste can be 7 kilometers long. You know, they sit in areas where, when the snow comes, it dumps its guts on that area because it gets blocked by mountains, and they have way better snow than we have. You know, but again, you don't know about them because they're not in holiday brochures, and you're probably never going to find them unless someone like myself says to you, "Let's go." But yeah, they're out there. They are out there.
Final comment here. English Bob would definitely be up for those different ski area everyday trips, Andy. So book him up for that one when you decide to do it.
You get Big Kev to sign up to English Bob, and we'll do that. Big Kev is taking English Bob to France twice this winter. I'll have you know.
What? Twice to France.
Easily led is English Bob.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to go to France, but he's going.
Dragging in Sweden.
See you soon, man.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Really appreciate the questions. We're going to have to wrap it up then, mate. I don't know. I know you didn't. We probably could go on for another 45 minutes here, I reckon.
We could do another one in a couple of weeks, but we are going to have to wrap it up soon because I need to go pee.
Yeah. Yeah, Andy, listen, I really appreciate you joining. It's been really good to touch base again.
Don't forget Bramski 10 for 10% off the goggles.
Yeah. Yeah, for anyone.
It's been good to chat. We said we haven't done it for 9 months, have we?
Yeah.
Obviously, snow reports will commence once we've got some snow. Hopefully next Wednesday or the Wednesday after. Anyone coming over to Kaprun's LMZ, give me a shout. Free and resort service. You can buy me a beer. If you're going to Canada, give Matt a shout. He'll buy you a beer.
I will. I might go for something stronger as well.
And everyone look out for Matt's review of the goggles once I've sent them to him.
Yeah, they'll be in the works for sure.
The pigeon is on its way.
Thanks so much for joining, Andy, and yeah, we'll touch base soon.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. And thanks very much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate the engagement that we've had in today's live stream. It's been awesome. I'm hoping we can get more of this as we go into the winter. I'll be going live again next weekend with a little bit more of a focus towards Canada. There will be another guest joining, so keep an eye out on the community posts later this week. If you are new to the channel, please like this video and subscribe as well to keep up to date. Again, really appreciate it. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.